fair. Someone's investing in you.
Yeah.
You got to be your stuff got to be tight.
Got to be tight.
I like them, and sometimes watching someone fail on a program like that opens your eyes, and you think, what?
That's a good point,
Man, come with one brilliant idea. What let him down? This is your figures are not adding up. You're free and sometimes when I say, boy, the man to chat rubbish, but it's true.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting because when Levi Roos was on it, from my understanding, he never had his figures there. I didn't see it, but he never had his figures there. But what really said it was his personality, and that was his sort of vision of the brand of his product. Yeah,
but that's another investment when somebody invests in you because they like you.
Yeah, that's right.
Your personality.
Yeah, well said.
Look at this thing, man. I would invest, right? You know where I'd invest my money in? Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno tomorrow was to make a grill like the Foreman grill. Frank Bruno fish and chips grill. Don't tell me that people wouldn't look for it.
But Frank Bruno, he's not with
but so what? Frank Bruno's name and his personality can sell a product.
He have no personality.
He don't have no personality. Not everybody in the UK knows Frank Bruno, right or wrong?
No, I'm not gonna argue. Everybody knows, but Frank Bruno can't sell.
What do you mean, Frank Bruno?
Yeah. Frank Bruno ready for this.
Well, what is Frank's name?
Well, we have some of the live names. Yes, greetings. Well,
Dougie?
Yes, sir. Greetings.
Yeah, man, brother Nick.
Thank you, man. The good?
Yes, sir, everything good, man. Everything lovely, man. Enjoying the sunshine and everything,
Everything Christmas. So, what are you saying, brother Nick?
Yeah, man. How you doing, Supreme? You alright?
Yeah, man. I'm cool, man. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm here.
That's good, man. I'm glad you're here as well. Because you give the Brother Dougie show some flavor,
He give some flavor. He must have some flavor, man.
I was just saying, right, Brother Nick, I don't know how you look on business. If Frank Bruno was to make a grill, even if Frank Bruno made coffee, Frank Bruno do anything, it will make money. Trust me.
Frank Bruno sick, man.
Give me that sick.
I hear what Brother Dougie's saying, and I hear what Supreme's saying. What I would say is, since Ali passed, boxing has, the interest in boxing's gone up a bit. So they want to look in the archives and see, Frank Bruno, the great British man who, someone for, this country, and they want to look at Lennox Lewis, they want to look at everybody, Tyson and everybody. So what the man is saying there, it may have some validity to it, But still, talking about business, I'm trying to talk to people about this thing here called intheborough.com, right? I notice when I attend seminars, people are always giving you their cards.
Right.
They're always giving their cards, like handing out like biscuit and sweetie, everywhere you go. So, I mean, they need some help because they're an independent sole trader. So this intheborough.com could be able to help them. Because I can read this thing out to you. There's a sister called Jacqueline Montague,
right,
and a brother called Carl Lewis, and they have their offices in Deptford Market, the Albany Theatre. And they've been interviewed on Galaxy, Freestyle show on Saturday, was it 1 to 4, where he has various different guests come in, and he's got a brother called Kennedy as well, who he talks about business as well. And so can I read this to you?
Yeah, man, of course.
Intheborough.com, Okay, first of all, intheborough.com is easy to remember, just intheborough.com. You can look it up on your computer, see what it's about. And it says, a new online directory for local businesses, sole traders, independent shop owners, tradespeople, job seekers and entrepreneurs. Plus your free online shop ready to sell your own products or as an affiliate. Register now for your free 30-day trial. www.intheborough.com or carl@intheborough.com, and there's a phone number if you want to take the phone number. This is Carl's number.
Sorry, what they do, specifically, Nick, what they do again?
Right, I'll tell you what they do. Right, for a price, right, something like £10 a month.
Yeah.
Right, they can list your business in intheborough.com. So when people go on that website, they can find your business.
Right.
They can offer you all types of things. Whatever you need, they can put you on television, on an internet station, to advertise your program. They can take pictures and promote it. It's about promoting your business.
About promoting your business. Okay then.
Yeah.
Hang on, I just want to find a pen so I can take it down myself. Can you do me a favor? If we go... Just wait 1 second, brother Nick. No,
sure.
Just write it on there. So give us a number. Yeah.
Well, this is Carl's number.
Yeah.
Right. He's from Clarendon as well. He's a Jamaican. Yeah.
You're from Clarendon?
Yeah, man. And sister Jacqueline, she's from she was born here, but she's Jamaican parentage as well.
Clarendon people, man, meet both the players now.
Yeah, man. They're very, very nice people, my brother. I'm even trying to learn the ropes to try and get involved with being self-employed by them as well. But I'll figure out how that goes. Telephone number 077
yeah.
22 99 4005.
Okay then. Go over the number. Go over the number again.
Okay, 077.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
299.
299. Yeah.
400.
400.
5.
And his name is Carl.
Yeah, Carl Lewis.
All right. The famous athlete from America that won the gold.
Same name, yeah.
What's the name of the company, Carl, again?
It's called intheborough.com. Or www.intheborough.com or carl@intheborough.com. That's it. Yeah, I got Jacqueline's number as well, but it's on another phone.
Okay, no, but we speak to Carl because I mean, we give a Carl because man like him, we want to
interview.
Yeah, definitely want to speak to him.
Man. I mean, and also, I told him about you as well. I told him about enough times, but it's for me to call you to make the links. To get you to make the links for me to tell you about because this show is about business. And we need to get them on board,
Alright, I'll give my son to know.
I said that Doug is a very, very nice person, He's a very, dedicated brother to what he's doing and everything like that. So, and they're the same, they're dedicated as well. So, what I'm saying is, man, definitely we need to make the links.
Okay, definitely. That's what it's about. It's about really joining the dots them together. So Well, Nick, what does that look to if you don't have a poem for us?
Yeah, man. I have a poem about King Lion,
King Lion?
Yeah, I hear you had him on the other day.
Yep, the King Lion. In too far, he said I'm tuning in a second because he texted me said that he's on his way home. He's gonna tune in, saying coming from us. Yeah, it's gonna.
Alright, so let me know when he's gonna call you. Yeah.
Well, he said he wanted to. He's gonna phone in, but he said that he's listening, but he's on his way home to. Yeah. Yeah. So drop a point. You want to wait later on?
Yeah, man. Just let me know when he comes in. When he calls you, maybe make contact with you or something.
Yeah, he's gonna make contact in about 20 minutes time or so. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, let me hear when I have to say, and then
then you come in, banners. Yeah.
and make sure that he's listening. Yeah, man, for the poem. Brother Dougie, yeah. Them call you brother Dougie, right? They call you Dougie. Sometimes they call you brother Dougie. I say bro D. That's the name I got for you. And I see on a flyer when them call you Sir Dougie. so what? You get a nice hood from the organizer, and we now know about it. Big up house girl, yeah.
You never know myself, Rasta.
I see it, you know. Anyway, I'll call you back later on. Respect, yeah?
Yeah, man, everything Chris, man.
Yeah, Supreme? Yeah, man. Give time.
Every time. All right. Yes, brother Nick, just cover some tough flavor upon us.
So you can be a trader, you can be marketing and buying and selling, offerings or whatever it is. These are all different classes of business. Well, the third class of business in the category we are in right now is what I call the kingdom business. Kingdom business. A lot of people talk about charity, but it's kingdom business. You see, you talk about charity, we have a lot of charity organizations, and all these charity organizations, they are involved in business. They do a lot of things. They offer services, they offer products, and they make money. But you see, the difference between this class of business and all the other classes of business is the fact that, unlike other classes of business, the entirety of the profit that is made here is put back into the fulfilling of the purpose of that business. It's put back into the fulfilling of the purpose of that business. So, for instance, if someone is running an NGO to give HIV awareness, to people, and they...
Greetings.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Yeah, everything Chris, man. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Harold Angel, man.
Harold Angel. All right, Harold. So, we have for some, man?
Well, just usual, planning ahead, taking advantage of what's happening and seeing the time, what time it is, what's happening right now. Like, you know, every turn, the news, the Islamic system, everything's happening, you know. In ourselves, we're going to change. See, what the thing is, keep telling our friends, you got to move with the times. You can't, you know, things happen very fast. You start moving fast.
Well, you see, we're living in serious times now, my brethren, so if you know what going on, you know, we're in a serious time, brethren. So we have to know what time it is, you know, as simple as that, you know what I mean? And we are reasonable, they'll tell about business. And you know, basically we come together as a community, and we have a event on the 20th talking about building the community with the Working Action Group. Very progressive organization, and they're about building the community because of finance and economics and so forth. And the time is now where we just have to start to move as one. See?
Sure, that's right.
Yeah. So what you have to say about business and them thing there, Pedro?
Well, on the business front, I mean, it's really strange. We're just talking about today the same thing. I had someone said to me that they don't like business or selling. I said, listen, let me share something with you. We all sell. We all do selling. Whether if you're a parent, you're selling yourself to your parents, to your children. If you're working at a job, you sell yourself to your boss will fire you. You're selling yourself. If you're with a partner, you're selling yourself to maintain that partner.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're a single person looking for a partner, you're selling yourself to try and attract somebody. So we all sell. You know, we all sell. It's a different word. You know. So on business now, on a business front, health is where it's at. You know, health is the greatest investment. You know, the greatest asset is your health. And you could have all the money in the world. If you don't have the health
to enjoy it, then you're finished. So we have to sort of change our habits. I mean, there's a lot of things. We're ignorant to the fact. We know that things are about for us to take them. We're still doing the old-fashioned way, eating hard, heavy food with stuff and grease and so basically the food that we're eating is not what we're eating, it's eating us, we need to know what we're eating, the water we're drinking. We're drinking toxic-free alkaline water, all for water foundation. Our body is made up of 7% water. The earth is made up of 7% water. We don't store it, we need to actually have it regular. So it's just understanding what things do differently, and if you don't, you get taken out as well as, so that's health is my business, because I went to
I want you to talk a little bit more, because your voice is quite still, so just raise your voice up a little bit more, man.
Raise your voice?
Yeah, man, raise your voice a little bit more.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, man, better now. Just raise it up a little bit.
Okay.
But you seem so relaxed. Yeah, go on.
On the business front, I mentioned before, my business is health and health and wellness. And I just basically talk about, in general, what people should be doing just to stay alive, especially there's 104 herbs, minerals, vitamins in the garden of Eden. And we're supposed to be taking at least 60 vitamins and minerals on a daily basis. 60. Now, the average intake of vitamins and minerals we're taking on a daily basis is between 16 and 20. Now you can see why we're undernourished and where we're sick and dropping like flies, because we're not getting all our nutrients, our vitamins and minerals. So with that said, it's understanding that, we need to still like to eat a lot of fruits and stuff and vegetables that actually produce them. And also eat the right fruits and vegetables, and as I mentioned before, it's our greatest investment in our health.
Right.
So, and now even your household, your home is 5 times more toxic than out on the road. Some of our name brand products like your Ariel, your Dan, your Persil, your washing liquid, your Flash, your air freshener, furniture polish, toothpaste, mouthwash, all those things are toxic to the chemicals. And you ask yourself, but these are name brands, big companies. Well, let me ask the question. That's why the companies stay big. They spend all their money on they put in their products are cheap fillers and fibers, cheap stuff, right? And it's all about profit. It's about, they don't care what you're getting. Look at Johnson & Johnson, they're sued how much million for their cows, and not their products are toxic and cancerous. But we grew up on this stuff. So it's about change. And the hardest thing for us to do is change. And I tell people that, listen, you can't be ignorant anymore and say, well, I've been taking all my life and I'm still here. That's ignorant. Especially if you have siblings or people around you that you care about. If you don't want to help them, you're being selfish. So I tell people, number one, you start changing your environment. Detox your house, detox your body, your environment, detox, clean, freshly changed.
So all right then. So this is you need to speak a bit louder because the voice is very flat, you see. But this is your business. Your business about right. Your business about changing the environment in people's home, yeah?
Yep.
Okay then, all right. So where can people get all the products and so forth?
Well, I'll give you my telephone number because we're in the process of actually getting my stuff out on the website. But what I do, I send stuff to individuals. My number is 07506 874 205. It's Harold the Angel. Now, sorry. What?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So, working on the environment, change your environment, your household, the things you eat, your environment. You change that, you live longer.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got so much, over 160 biodegradable, toxic, free, chemical-free products, health products for the body, the skin, all our products carry a 6-day money-back full guarantee. If you use the products, even empty the containers, use it out, and 59 days time you say, nah, you don't like it, you want to return it, you just send back the empty containers and get that full refund, all the products. And then health products, they carry a 90 days money back guarantee. So it's risk-free. So you can't beat that. So you can take the products, try them. If you like them, you can get your money back. You can't beat that.
Okay then. So, all right then. So, we're talking about business, and it's good to know that you do have a business to serve the community from a health perspective, and that's something we do push on this show here, and so forth, right? But the question, because we do have Supreme inside of us, but Supreme might ask a question as well. But when it comes to your thing about business and we as a community, why do you think we're not really working together as a collective?
Well, first and foremost, we are so used to, let's talk about the pound, the black pound, if we understand what we're talking about. Our pound, it doesn't circulate. It's probably lasts 6 hours in our community, and it goes out into other communities. Whereas other communities, their money circulates 15, 30 times, and before it goes out of their community. We're not supporting our own businesses. The question is, just to give an example, my products I have, which you can go get me Tesco's, as the Morrisons and all those other stores, right? They're all chemicals. Mine are chemical free, and I'm a black business. Right. So therefore, you should be supporting your black businesses. We have all the natural products. So, I've got friends of mine. What I do, I ask around, who do you know that sells fruits and vegetables? Rather than me going to Lidl or those supermarkets or stores about fruit and vegetables, I said to my friend the other day, well, listen, you're a black business. He says he lives in North London. I live in South London. I said I can get a lot of people together and we buy from you. He said, no problem. So I'm helping you. I said, well, it makes so much more sense. You're a black business. You've got products we have. It helps you. So, I'm thinking around anybody that, of various different WhatsApp groups. All we're doing is put a word out there. Let's start supporting our businesses, right? Change all that. Let's be realistic. Let's start supporting our businesses. Because if you think about it, people always say, support me. But who are you supporting them? We've got to stop the selfishness. We've got to have, black plumbers, builders, and let me tell you as well. I say to people this: don't support me because I'm black. Support me because I'm good. Because my business is good. Because if you got a business which ain't good, that's not good. So we've got to up our game. We've got to raise the bar. So our people need to raise the bar. So we do start doing proper proper business, not cowboy business.
Right.
Not ripping off. Let's do proper business. So we have to raise the bar on our business and services. So we are the best. So if people are using our services, they're using us because we're good. And we have to be black. Yes, of course. But let's be real. So let's start to support one another. If you know a brother who does an accountant, a builder, sells fruits and vegetables, makes clothes, things you do normally, find out who do you know that's got a black business that does these products, and you support them. Give them a try. And if that product's not good, you leave him. But give him a try.
Right.
And if he's doing something wrong, let's say, look, brother, raise your standards, your products, So you want to tell him that to make his not ready. We can't be, rather than saying we're not supporting them more, say, brother, I used your product the other day and something's wrong, whatever. So make him see. Rather
let me jump in here, right?
Yeah.
I'm just conscious of time as well, right? And we do have Supreme inside the hole. But would you say that when it comes to we as black people, right, we're very immature when it comes to your thing about business? We have a very loose outlook when it comes to business. And Supreme, if you want to come in as well, to jump in with him as well,
we are very, let me answer that question in a nutshell. There's 4 things you need to do in order to be do good business and build a community. Number 1 is be on time. Number 2, a system, a proper system. 3, honesty, trust, and basically secrecy, because sometimes we talk too much and say too much. Right. I remember 1983 when Sam Springer was going to start Afro-Caribbean Bank. He started shooting out his mouth. They shut him down before he started.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You need to know secrecy. Sit down and talk to the right people, not shut up your mouth. I'm gonna. Now do it. Kind of practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have Supreme. Come in.
No, I'm just listening curiously to the brother on the line, and I don't know. I just think that we just do our business because it's convenient. We don't look about what colour the business is. We look at it, it's convenient and probably the price. So I think that's if we're what I see is kind of impossible. I can't see us having a predominantly black village or area like that. So at the end of the day, no one's really going to be travelling from Tottenham to Brixton just to get his bread, and I'm keeping it real. It's about we're convenient.
No, but hold on a second, because that's an interesting point. But Otherwise, people, they would.
Can I come in?
No, hold on a second. You can come in a second, but it's an interesting point what Supreme says, and he's keeping it real, and he's right in saying that. But there's truth in that, right? But if we look at other race of people, right, they will literally, to avoid spending money with you, they will travel to the other side of town to spend money with their own community. See?
I know, but it's not my fault that you like Chinese when Chinese don't eat Caribbean food, but you eat Chinese. You know what I mean? So I'm keeping it real.
Yeah, I know. We said it's right. You said it's right. But
it's not my fault that we shop in Tesco's and Sainsbury's.
No. I'm just trying to ride on that point because we said it's true.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
I thought you wanted to start argument with me.
No, I'm going to start arguing with you.
We start argument earlier.
We will start arguing earlier on.
With the relationship team.
And you started the argument earlier on. Yeah?
Okay.
No, no. What I'm saying is this, right? Right. What you're saying, yeah, it's quite interesting. And it's right. You must suggest if what you said is true, right? But I'm saying that otherwise, the people, right? They would void. For example, they're in North London, right? And they got some people, and they want the Pacific thing in over South London. They would prefer spend money with their people over South London than just to skip any people what's in North London. You see, where we, like I said, it's just convenient.
I just think that we are a people. We're a people of leisure. You know, the other races they're working at it. You know, I don't see families of Chinese people going to the West Indies for their holidays.
True.
I don't see families booking up their holidays to go on a world cruise and do all these things. So we got to look at we're so plugged into being consumers, right? But we're not watching it.
Okay.
We're not watching it. The Indian man will open up his shop, you know, and he'll miss you when you go on holiday. He knows more about you than you know about yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, you know, I just say that, you know, I just think, you know, just get on with your life, you know. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, you know.
Live happy ever after.
Well, I'm not travelling to Brixton.
Let me get the budget. Let me
Brixton to get bread and because he's black and nah.
Let me get my come in, Bridget. Yeah, man, wait for coming now. Come in, man.
Okay, I hear. You know, I've noticed, and I've seen. What's the name? Your name? What's your name?
Tell them your name.
My name is Supreme.
Supreme. Oh, Supreme. Well, let me share something with you. You said something there, which what you're saying there counts for a lot of our community. You know what it is? We're so laid back in our attitude, which is like, yeah, man, we're very spiritual, cultural people in a sense, right? And just a second. Hello? we're laid back in our sense. It's all calm. We're so humble and stuff, right? We need to understand we're only really the last 30 years starting to look at business, because remember, for us to survive, we have to understand economics. Yeah, economics. And that's something we need to start to because remember, at the end of the day, other communities are pulling together, supporting each other, right? We're not saying you can't eat Chinese. Not saying. Not about. Sorry, I'm waiting for. Hello.
Dougie.
Hey, but you want to go on about the public radio, you have to big radio, the man, I say private. Hey, what about boss?
And right now he's supposed to be defending black business. Come on.
Sorry. No, I'll wait.
What did he say? But professional and on time and my answer cool.
Hey, Supreme said you're a professional man.
No, I'm actually waiting. My sister, they come to. I pick them up from the airport from the.
We get excused for that then. Alright, no problem. Like that's important.
I don't know what time to be there. That's good. I'll wait for that call. Okay, I can talk now.
Alright,
yeah, so really and truly, no. I'm talking about a serious shit because we look. Everything what's happening right now, right, is based on economics, right? Yeah, we know about music and parties. We're the best parties. We're the best sports people. We when it comes to that, we're so calm, everything. Yeah, everything nice. We're too laid back because, we thought I'm moving forward. We look for leave a legacy for our children's children. You know what I mean? Because when people are getting buried, well, I forgot their money and put on. And when situation happens, we don't plan ourselves. We don't organise ourselves to have things in place for situations. These are serious things.
Yeah, but why is that? Yeah, but why is that?
Why is that? What I'm trying to say to you, the way we see as people, we are so, we're very laid back, yeah? And times have changed. Economics, right? We're no longer, we grew up where we have full-time work on one side, right? And gardening, you know, but now you have to buy water. You have to buy, you have to buy things. So it costs money because, you know, we live in different times now. We're living in the place we grew up in. We're in the UK now, which is a capitalist society where you have to have money. Yes? Now, I don't like to talk about money, but let's keep it real. Now, let's give you an example now. Whether this Brexit thing, right? I know it's about they voted for the Brexit because the immigrants, not us, the Eastern Europeans, rinsing out this country over here. But it's bigger than that because remember, it's affected a lot of things. Import export. Now, British gas is owned by Germany. EDF Energy is owned by France, right? Most of our fruit and vegetables imported. Let me tell you something. Next year, the utilities, there's this utility, your gas, electric, your water and stuff, and your fruits and vegetables will go up at least 30%. Go up next year, 2 years, 30%, right? Not my words. Now, those of you who've got a job and work in a job, we've last got a pay rise. Now, let's be real. Can you see you're getting a rise in the next 2 years of 30%? No. So just your utilities, your food and your gas, electricity could go up.
Sorry, can I just interject there? Because I'm going to soon be leaving, but I just want to ask you a personal question.
Sure.
Just to try and round up. How do you shop? Because you're saying we're complacent, people are this and that. I want to know, how do you shop and what are you doing? Because we can't be just throwing out we, us, and you understand. I just need to know, do you personally, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is how I shop, right? Because I'm a healthy eater, right? And I just I'm glad I've actually spoke to Oris, the guy who does the fruit and vegetables. I said to him, look, I'm tired of going to buy my fruits and vegetables from. I buy fresh fruits and vegetables, and the people I buy it from are not black. I've met you a couple of times. You're a black brother. I said to him, I'd love to buy one fruits and vegetables for you. Yes? So I buy fruits and vegetables regularly. So now we're trying to get together. A lot of us, we're going to start buying from him. Yes? He happens to be in North London. Yes? I live in South London. So as I mentioned before, I'm planning to get all my people to buy collectively so he can come and supply all our fruits and vegetables. So in the process, that's what I'm doing in the process. I buy, when I look around, anyone I know who actually, I've read who's sourcing, I buy from him, right? He's a brother, right? I think I use regularly. So I'm starting to look around, because I'm understanding economics, I'm understanding that black pound. I'm fed up myself because I know that at the end of the day that I'm spending my money, but I'm choosing when I'm spending my money. I'm choosing because that's the only way I understand economics. Yeah, I've been on this for the last years and years and years. I've been not just the other day. I've been on this thing for a long time, right? So because I'm a promoter, organizer, a business person, I've got a network of friends who've got different business services, and I've got my friend who products. I buy from her. I recommend her. I tell people to buy from her. So I spread the word for her. I've got other people who do products. I recommend theirs. So I'm always recommending people's services. Not to get anything back from them personally, but I want to see them do good, because if they do good, you'll do good. But that puts more money in their pocket to feed their family, and they can use their money to throw back into our community. So it starts small, little. Every little they come up with, and we've got to try amongst ourselves. So you just have to, you've got to step outside yourself. You've got to be accountable. Be the message you bring. Don't just talk and do it. So I'm doing it, and that's naturally. Ever since I've been going to Dougie event now, I met a few people from Dougie event that got products and services. I take their business card. I said, listen, I know people can use, even if I don't use the product, I know my system, people can use this product. Susan, this girl does this. Check her out. Thanks. My sister was buying lots of t-shirts. Buy a t-shirt for the kids. And the natural, like, natural t-shirt for the kids. And, someone makes dolls now. My niece and nephew got the babies. Listen, is a person that does dolls. That dolls, you get their cards. So I start to recommend and give out to people I know, because every time I'm talking to people, I know someone does this. Here's the number. Call her. She does this. I just do it because that's naturally. It's become my DNA. So you can do it every time you do something. If you do something every day for 30 days, it becomes a habit. Yeah. So it's become habitual. So I automatically do that naturally because that's the only way. Because I understand how far the future. Remember, there's 3 generations below me. 3 generations been lonely, so I'm supposed to, when I leave this, pass the baton to my children, right? Now, what am I passing down to them? So we are the first 4 generations here. Our parents are dying out there, so even some of our are dying out, right? What we leaving for them? Right? So we're accountable. This is serious. That's why I keep saying to you, we can be so laid back. Yeah, this thing will come. Yeah, it's alright. If something happens, oh my gosh. So we need to start changing our way we think. Not saying we can start partying, we can party anytime.
Right.
There's all the parties in a row.
Right.
But give me an example now. Now, you have a function, a funeral, a wedding, an event. You have to go an Indian man, a white man venue. Show me a venue that's a black owned that we own now. This place.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of us are promoters or business people? Why haven't we got our own place that we can have our own? We're not connected. There's enough money. There's enough.
Yeah, but you see,
the best cars.
But you see, my brother. You see, but you see, what you're saying is right. But that's only only way we can be more effective and come together unless we are organized, as a community, as a family. And it is the old mindset, because we've been conditioned a certain way of thinking and so forth. Anyway, I'm just conscious of time, right?
Yeah.
Because we do spend a few people to contribute and things. So let people know about your product and give out your details, etc. See?
Okay.
So that's where it's about.
My products, I've got all natural products, so chemical-free products, no chemicals. Your washing powder, washing liquid, soap powder, air freshener, body food to the body, or your toothpaste, air fresheners, all biodegradable, no harmful chemicals or harsh toxic chemicals. And my number is 07 506 874 205. That's me, Harold Bradnoff, right? All the environmental stuff, and also I've got my own products for the body, the vitamin C, magnesium, iodine and stuff. And I've also I've invested heavily in my water, which is I've got a Kangen machine. That machine cost me $3.5 grand. Japanese machine, lifetime guarantee, alkaline water. It's got 70% in place. It does everything. It cleans your vegetables, your fruits, clean your house, your hair, your face, your body, and everything. I'm drinking 9.5 alkaline water. So that is very important because it's a foundation. Yeah. So I'm serious about it, and anything I do, I learn, I share, and teach because we have to take care of our health. Our health's our greatest investment. Spread love, live forever and ever.
Okay. Well, give thanks for the reasoning. See.
Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, man, give thanks. Okay then.
Thanks, love.
All right, that was brother Harold reasoning with us and saying a lot of things he was saying. A lot of things about we should come together.
It was interesting.
Mm-hmm. What would you find interesting in terms of?
Well, I was going to give him a 6 months challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That can he find a black utility company? Can he totally live black? Utility, gas, electric, water. I'm laughing, but I think let's try it. Along the way, let's be real, we do have to barter with someone. I can buy off you, Dougie, but you're still going to have to be somewhere along the line and bought off someone from out of the community. Now, one of the things that I don't hear is that we don't go to source to buy our stuff or bring a container load in. We need to go to source. We need to be managing the source. And oh yes, today's August the 17th and Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And I think us who are living now, we should be setting up our own shipping companies like the Black Star Liner and doing our own trade from source, because all this thing, I can travel to Brixton, I'm a black man, I bought my brother for black man, but he bought his wheat and his flour or whatever it is of another race. If we're really going to go there, we need to go to source and be real. We need to get some people in our community with some serious money and get together, because it's just talk.
No.
Plan a weekend, brethren.
No.
We need for
No.
I miss this.
No, but you see, the thing is that we got to start from somewhere, right? We got to start from somewhere, and it does come into the whole thing about the mindset, because it's like every time we make a step, you say, well, no, not that step there. Go down the road a bit more, we need to go a bit further down. We need to go a bit further down. No, you see what I'm saying? We got to make the necessary steps, and enjoy the steps. And it's about educating ourselves to make those steps. Because the first, for example, what you're saying doesn't make no sense. And I say what doesn't make no sense, because no, because if we're so messed up now, and you said it was going to sort, we can't come together and be with
making no souls and saints.
That don't make sense. We are saying, brethren, because you're saying no. This is what you're saying, You're saying we must go to source.
We need to be
but are we going to source? Are we can't even deal with on a community level first?
But that's the point I'm trying to say. We're joking out the team. It's a joke thing we're doing. It's a joke.
It's a joke thing. In a sense,
if Marcus Garvey could have done this in 1920, we're in 2016. We're joking at the thing. We're joking.
No, my argument is this, right? We have to make necessary steps.
Listen, we can't even get 15 people in the room, let alone 15 million. We have a problem, yes, but I'm being serious.
What's the way forward? I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think is the way forward?
The way forward is to go to source.
So you're telling me, say, right? This is what you're saying, You're saying right now, right? The argument is that we should be going straight to source. And you feel that we can do that right now, go straight to the source? With the mindset we have right now?
I personally think, is someone still on the line?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm hearing you.
He's still putting the line.
I wanted to come in there.
You are coming?
Listen.
Let me go with some big talk.
All right, you are coming. Come.
Hold on. Bridget. Listen, man's source is not a problem. As Dougie said one thing, right? We know the source is the ultimate. Listen, let me give you an example, right? 90 years of trees, right? I tried to get all the promoters around the table. I said, listen, podium charge £500, right? We are book a podium, right? So if we get all the promoters together, Big Six, Martin Spence, TW, the big boys, us new boys, all them brothers on the table, 20 of us, get independent person to be a chairperson, right? We have a conglomerate, all the promoters. We start. If you have a dance next week, you flood your dance ram. You choose what day you want on the calendar, you're guaranteed it's PS ram. We've got to pour them, listen. We now pay £500, we pay £200, we'll boycott your venue, right? We're packed, please don't skin. Hello? Hello?
Sorry, we're still here. Sorry, we just had another incoming call. Go ahead. Hello? Hello? It doesn't seem like he's there, Dougie.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go on, talk.
I was saying to you, we sat down 1983 to get all the promoters around the table.
Yeah.
When we called a meeting, only 3 promoters turned up.
Mm-hmm.
That was me, Fair Play Promotion.
Mm-hmm.
That was Spotlight Promotion, which is Crystal Rose, and Arvin, right? And Arvin said, listen, man, we don't need them. We can do it amongst ourselves. I said, no. It's all or nothing. For this to work, you have to get all the promoters around the table, right? We couldn't get all around the table. Here we could now, right? Listen, I'm talking about, when you want to do a big movement, you have to learn to make sure anyone can go to the source. That's not a problem, yeah? When you go to the source, we're going to go to the source with a position of strength, yeah? And have everything in place, right? So the source is the ultimate, yeah, but you have to deal with it right now, here and now, right? Mm-hmm. The source is the ultimate. Mm-hmm. We have our own this, own that. Oh, of course, I know about the source. I'm talking about just trying to get the basic foundation right.
Yes, true.
We can't get that right.
Yes, true. Yes, true.
We can't get that right.
Yes, true.
So we all know the source is the ultimate.
Yeah.
If you can't deal with the smart things, all you have to do is
That's true.
Right? So let's keep it real. We all thought we want the but this one, we all know we can go out, you can go to the fire, but you want to go. So when you go to the fire, you have it in place. You've got the outlet in place, the finance in place, the system in place. Yeah, you want to go to a supplier. Yeah, I need this. I want this. Can you manage the supply? Can you manage the demand? No. So you have to get your foundation right. You have to get your system right. As I said before, system, right? Timing, trust, and secrecy. After 4 things in place, you're locked down. You go to anywhere, any supplier, you have everything in place. You want to start there with your money, you can't. You have to have infrastructure in place. Infrastructure in place. That's a system. I said that system, that's infrastructure.
Yeah.
But work on that.
Well, you're absolutely right, because once you have but you see, once you have a system in place, I mean, for example, right, if you look at McDonald's, good.
They won't. I was in it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
everything good there?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Alright, good. Alright, for example, if you look at McDonald's, right? What kind of mind straight away, right? They can set up McDonald's anywhere on this planet here. Why is that? Because they have a system in place. You see? And once you have a system, you can set up anywhere. Right? You can go anywhere. In fact, once you have a system, we don't have the infrastructure. We don't really have that, personally speaking, in place at this present moment in terms of talking effectively. And what it comes down to again is being having a system, and that's where we need to work to. Yeah, go on.
Dougie, actually, you said about McDonald's, right, Dougie?
Yeah.
McDonald's, they don't make the best burgers.
No, who don't make the best burgers?
They make the most burgers. Why?
Yeah.
On the system.
Because of the system, yeah.
They don't make the best
burgers, but they make the most burgers because they have
we're not talking about the quality of the burgers there, because they make the worst burgers then, right? But they do have a system. That's why they can sell anywhere in this country, because they do have a system. See?
Yeah? I worked in McDonald's, right? When I was young, I was 17, right? I became a training squad. And I learned training in McDonald's, about 3 C's. They said, if you got time to lean, you have time to clean. 3 C's. Communication, cooperation, and 3 C's. So they had a system, right? They had a system. That's why you have to understand everything is down to the system. Duplication.
Yeah, duplication.
Right?
Yeah.
Duplication. Let me talk about in network marketing. Some people don't like network marketing, right? Listen, I'm on a group that they talk about every time someone talks about network marketing, someone with a tear down. I have to come up and say, listen, brethren, I said, not everybody can make products. Are fortunate to be able to make products, right? And he used to talk about, he ain't supporting no network marketing because they're supporting us, that CEO, the white CEOs. I said, don't get me started. I come to your house, I see all your products, Marks & Spencer's, Tesco's, this and that. Don't come in that foolishness, right? I said, you personally, you wouldn't come by from me, and if I tell you, I've got all the products that I sell, I'm a black business, right? Here's to me, you know? Yeah, but who makes them? I said, don't get me started. Until I can find a black supplier that makes those products, I'll buy my products from the best source. I'm a black business, and my money matters. It supports my community, and I shop my community. Alright, so we got to understand. Especially we get too technical. Yeah. I'm on the radio, Sandra. So basically, so what can I say? We have to keep it real and stop.
Yeah.
We talk to my talkers.
All right, but you see, what we said is absolutely right. And it's really about having a system in place, and that's the way we can move forward. Let's be able to have an effective system. Supreme, you want to?
Yeah, Edison.
Thank you.
You want to interject there?
It's all right. I've heard a lot of what everyone has said.
Yeah, no gassing.
No. You know, they say a house starts with one brick.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to build a foundation. True. The problem that we have is, I think we want to be playing with the big boys. And in all honesty, there's a load of successful black businesses or businesses run by black people. And at the end of the day, it is really just to make a living. I think people get confused and try to incorporate, everything into what they're trying to do. So there's two different things. If you're trying to build a community and pull everyone together, that's fine. If you're trying to build a community business, that's something different again. So I do appreciate what everyone's saying as regards to we should support black businesses, and each person gets involved at the level that they're comfortable and they do what they have to do. There should be no pressure to say you should only support black businesses, you should do this. If the black business is the best business, then you'll naturally gravitate towards that. You don't want to be in a situation where you're dealing with, not to say substandard, all right, support businesses, raise people, raise their confidences. There was something a guy said to me one time. He said, look, now we're in a situation where we're going to have to create jobs for our children. So we're going to have to create businesses that are at the sort of level that the children can come in and not only make a living, but expand themselves. So that is something we need to look forward to. The fact that we don't have it all together now, this is now when we start to plan and start to push ourselves forward, because we're in a situation, or not even we're in a situation, everyone's in a situation. I know where we say black people should travel and go to different places and buy different products and stuff like that. And even though I agree with that on a certain level, again, as long as the business is right and it's doing well and it's well organized, then you go forward and do that.
So yeah, with all of it I agree, but there is a future plan that we have to put in place where we're going to have to create businesses where our children are not ending up in Tesco's or Marks and Spencer's and all these different sort of low wage jobs where it's harder for them to raise themselves up. So there has to be a plan, because no one is going to look after us. No one has that intention. No one is looking for the black community and say we're going to raise them up. So you put everyone aside and do it for yourself. So again, we have to move forward in that way as not as quick as we can, as steady as we can, and as sure as we can. We have enough intellectuals in our community that have created systems and situations as well already. So, lean back on what we have on those people, look for those people, search for those people, but again, look for the very best so that you're asking everyone to raise their standard. We can't compete with Tesco's, Marks and Spencer's, because those have millions behind them. And the reason why they can put things at such a low price is because they have enough money to buy wholesale. Yeah, they can buy at a price that we can't afford to buy because we can't pull the resources. But I do know of people that are coming together and trying to go to source, like you say, Africa, all those different places, and they're getting a load of different businessmen. Because a guy was telling me, sorry, not to cut you, but he was saying about how he watched a chicken van come and sell all the chicken to all the different chicken shops in one road. So that all the people, all the owners of the shop got together, all the owners on that road pulled money together so that they can actually buy the same chicken wholesale. So this man comes and delivers to everyone. So their prices can remain low and the quality can remain high. Not to say we can't do that, but the thing is, black people struggle to unite because they're united usually under the term black. When these people are united under religions or nationalities, so we don't have a united black is not a community. Black is individuals trying to fight to be together, and each one having their separate thing. The thing is, if you start speaking in lies and hopes, you end up nowhere. Speak the truth. This community does this community does that group comes that, pull them all together and then use a term. No, we're black, and then that means every black person's going to follow what you're saying.
I personally believe there is wealth in our community, but they're in the wrong areas, and we're looking for this handout from those people. We've got our sports stars, our celebrities, and even if you look at the churches, they do have an income.
Churches, my
if
friends.
you look, if you look on, because I looked on this thing, I don't know if Harold's still there, and I'm starting to get into the 7 areas of control. The religion, politics, war, sport. The 7 areas that we talk about, and I'm thinking, well, hold on a minute, sports. We're big in it. You can hear Hussein Bolt. You see how much his income base is. Entertainment. You can say hip hop culture is one of the biggest streams of income. Just in, like we was talking about yesterday. Where I think we lack is the politics, and we don't really do war. We don't do war. So I mean, when you look at the areas of control, right, we have to master them to be a force to be reckoned with.
The thing is, everyone is ahead. They all planned for that. We are the greatest assimilators that there are. We want to be friendly with everyone. Everyone's happy to stay in their own groups. So we always give our power away all the time.
When I look at, all right, let's talk about Tesco's. I'm hearing stories that this man started from a wheelbarrow, and he started from a simple thing as a wheelbarrow, selling fruit and veg from a market store. We put out probably even 3 years ago, brother Dougie, let's get an allotment, grow what we eat, everybody clubbing. What's happened? It fizzled out. Even a simple thing as just an allotment. I just look at this. I don't want to be doom and gloom and negative, but I kind of think, well, boy, if we can't do this,
the thing is,
but what gives me hope is Marcus Garvey philosophy.
You know what, Supreme, what throws me is that any big business very rarely started as a community business.
Yeah.
There'd be one individual that decides upon himself to make that situation. His color then becomes only valid or important when he's at a certain position. Tesco's, you spoke of one man in a wheelbarrow. All these companies started from one man doing something. So as an individual, you have to raise yourself to that point, and then when you get to that point, you bring everyone on. But don't say you're going to wait for everyone to come on, because you're going to have people that 50%, 10%, 100%. And the organizers usually 100%, and all the others think it's a nice idea if we had the time. They're waiting for one person to do all the work, and then they jump on the bandwagon afterwards. So as soon as you ever say, I want everyone to get involved, you might as well sit down and say you don't want nothing to happen, because people have their own personal situations and things to deal with. They don't want to carry the burden of the black race on their back.
It goes back to the same thing I said. It goes back to the same thing I said when I first opened up the conversation. I said, we want people to buy from us, not because they're black, but because they're good. I don't want, listen, I'm telling you, see, the brother who said a while ago, it's the same thing I said. We're not telling you to go out there and be militant, right? It's wrong. You have to have wisdom. People will like you for who you are. You see, when you start separating yourself from people, you've lost the battle. You be the best you can become, right? Personal development teaches and shows you that. Be the best you can become and attract everybody, whether they're black, Muslim, Irish, Polish, Philippine, whatever, because you're good, because you're who you are. You have to be black. So we're not telling people to isolate yourself. No. If you have to have wisdom, right? So understand a purpose, the meaning behind it. You have to go out there and be with everybody to get everybody. Yeah? You start isolating yourself, you've lost the battle. So you have to have wisdom. So you don't be radical and start saying, I'm black. It's like, that's the wisdom. So what I'm trying to say to you, the ultimate goal at the end is remember, I'm not knocking a job, right? A job's a good start, but not a good finish, right? If you're working for a company and you get laid off, don't be disappointed. You're gonna go. You're not part of their master plan, yes? But while you're working, what are you doing to have something in place? What's your retirement plan, right? What's your contingency plan? You have to start planning. This is what I'm saying to you. You have to plan your future. If you've got kids, a legacy, you have to pass this seed down to your children.
Right.
Most of us, unfortunately, when they leave this earth, their family got to pick up the pieces for them because there's nothing in place. Yeah? We don't have a plan. So I'm trying to say we have to start to look at the family, which was destroyed from the beginning, the family.
Right.
Let's go back to the family, the household.
Okay.
Let's go back to how it was, the household.
Okay.
And get that right. The household.
Okay, Aaron, I'm just conscious because people want to phone in and they can't seem to come in punish. You kind of hung up the line a little bit here. But you made some very tremendous contribution, and you kind of open up some reason there, sir. See? So, Aaron, pick up the status, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
All right, then, because people are ringing and texting. They said they can't they want to contribute.
No problem.
All right, then, man. Give thanks.
All right. Okay, then.
All right.
Go on.
Right. Okay, then. I know that people are trying to ring in and text, and I want to. And the live link number is 07960 239 493, and we're talking about whole thing about business. And there was a text come through. What was that text what come through?
Yeah, there was a text here saying, no, that's not the wrong one. Paraphrasing, it was literally saying someone thought Supreme was wrong. That he's not actually, when he says black people should go to source, he's not actually practicing what he is preaching. That's what he said.
And the text says about what is he doing?
Literally, he said he's actually wrong in what he's saying.
So Supreme, you have to defend yourself, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I that statement. Somebody
I've got it here exactly. I think, what's it? Oh yeah, sorry, I have to get all of it. I think Supreme is wrong for saying that black people should be going to source when he is doing no such thing. We must practice what we preach. Dougie is right and understand that it takes one step at a time because he is working hard. Okay. What do you, Supreme? What? Oh, this is a bit deep. You want to go here, brother? They said, what exactly do you, Supreme, do for the community besides? Oh no, leave that alone. That's getting a bit personal.
Okay. What exactly do you do for Supreme, for the community besides tag on to Dougie? What have you actually done? Okay.
Let me tell this call here. Greetings.
Hello, sir. I don't want to keep you too long, yeah?
No problem.
One thing that brother said, yeah, after agree with he talked about like that about when you got a product, not naming your product like a radical thing. But what I'm saying is that a lot of us or some of us, when we have like a company, yeah, we would include the word black, or you know what I mean. If you're making a business, still like the Englishman or the Chinese man, you have a name like Samuel, yeah. And the Englishman has something like Phillips. He don't associate with nothing to his race, yeah. But then so you attract the masses to it. Another thing is, yeah, I have to mention you talked about Sebi earlier. You played a little bit of thing about Sebi, Dr. Sebi, yeah. And Dr. Sebi said when he went to South Africa, them man they reject him. When he went to, I think it's Mozambique, them man they reject him again. They tell him to come out, man. He's a madman walking with your barefoot. Yeah. But when he went to Congo, the Congo accepted him. But the reason why I mention this is because enough of us tried to link up with certain other people, and they don't want to know. We got when Sebi said when he first started to sort out his business and expand, he went to people like Opera and enough other big well-known established black individuals, African individuals. They didn't want to support him.
Well, I mean, yeah, all right then. But you see, the thing is this, right? That I mean, I don't know, but the question what ultimately comes to mind is now is that. Why should they support him? Because the thing that
we complain about, say, boy, this is a racist system. It's a racist society. Now, if that's factual, which it is,
yeah.
Then who else can we, as an individual, go to with your idea? It's like
no. But you see, all right. But one second.
The Dragons Den, yeah, and the Dragons Den, they if they see you have a good idea, they would invest in your good idea.
Yeah, but hold on a second. What you're saying in principle is right, you know, right?
Sorry?
What you're saying is right, but I'm just trying to on his head there because, for example, you remember when Spike Lee, right, was making a film, Malcolm X film, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And then he did run show. He won I don't know, another certain amount of million. But who did he went to? He went to certain individuals, right? And he got the money. Now the reason why, because of Spike Lee, because of his name and his reputation and so forth. You see what I'm saying? Right. So what I'm saying that at the time, I'm just making assumptions still, you know, and the editor could probably correct me. Right? At the time, I don't think people know about Dr. Sebi, and probably went for support for money and everything. They said, well, who is he, whatever. And I'm making an assumption, I could be wrong, right? Yeah. That's the reason why. But like now, he's well known, right? He would definitely get support because of
at the time, Spike Lee himself said not many people were supporting him to make that film, Malcolm X. He found it hard to get funding as well.
But certain people.
I watched a documentary where Spike Lee was saying he at certain times to get help from his own people, they weren't supporting him. I mean, if you look at America now, there's hundreds of millionaire black people, yeah. Even when it comes to the rappers, then you've got like Mayweather, That brother got so much money. He could be investing in. What's 2 million to throw to Sebi? What's 2 million to throw to Umar Johnson? It's nothing. And them brothers they're buying big Porsche and big time cars for half a million. Crazy money.
No, it's true. It's true.
You know, you know what? Sometimes it get me so angry to see how our people flex sometimes. You know,
it's true.
Serious thing, man. I called you up last week when you finished. Yeah, I was saying if we got like 500,000 people, just to sign an agreement, says we will donate just £2 each and nothing else. Done. Just if we can collect 500,000 people just to donate will you donate £2,000? And to sign an agreement, I will donate £2. That's £1 million right there, and we can't even do that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, and people spending like I don't want to get too emotional, but people spending. We spend enough money on other people's clothing, and you know what I mean. Me myself, I'll buy a few little garments, you know what I mean. But what I'm saying is we overdo it, man, and we can't even contribute one little.
Yeah, but we are the biggest consumers, you see.
Trust me.
We are. You know, we literally spend billions of pounds.
He mentioned the music industry. Yeah. But we had a chance to lock that down. And the thing is, let me just break it down in the more simple thing. Everybody's got a plate, and on that plate they got some food. Yeah, every race, they got a plate. Yeah. And the thing is, everybody's eating out of our plate. Yeah. And other people got their plate. You can't go in their yard and eat out their plate, you know.
Sweet.
But everybody say, let me take a piece of your rice, let me take a piece of your chicken, let me take a piece. You understand? We don't have our own plate to ourselves.
No, you're absolutely right. And you see, the thing is that I'm just jumping ahead here because we look at, say for example, I never seen a Chinese family go into a black restaurant, right, and have a meal with their family in a black restaurant.
Down a munching, yeah.
I've never seen it. Probably it has, but I've never seen it.
I can't remember seeing it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a group of Jewish family come into the black community and have a meal with a family in a black restaurant. You know, because in their mindset, right, you support your own.
Let me say something. I live in Wandsworth, yeah.
Sorry?
I live in Wandsworth, yeah.
Right.
And in Wandsworth, there's two. If you go down to Tooting, there's two indoor markets, yeah. And if you go to the first indoor market is owned by an Indian man, and the second indoor market is owned by a Russian man or Polish. And I'm saying that the amount of years we've been in London. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to go into details, but something is lacking. You know, something is lacking, man. It coming like as soon as we get our money, we're looking to show off on each other, or with this bad mind the next man. And when a man gets so much bad mind, he move away. You understand? And you don't wanna come back to certain people because you just get bare bad mind and fight down. And it's just factual. It's something it's like inbred into us. And that's the cut, man. Yeah, that's the cut. You know? And that's the thing what's holding us back is like a trust and loyalty. You know, there's a lacking of the trust and lacking of loyalty with if you call it a so-called community. And another thing, we have to come out that idea of black, because you have Asians that are black. You know, because back in the day when people was crying racism, yeah, the Asians jumped on that boat as well. You understand? So they were included in that same argument. Now they become economically stable. They're not calling themselves black no more. They're calling themselves Indian, Pakistan. You understand? You know. So now when it comes down to the crunch, we're on our own again.
But we've always been on our own, though. You know, we've always and you see, that's why it's very important to understand yourself. You know, and identify yourself, and then you'll have a purpose and you'll have a direction. You see, and because we don't identify ourselves who we are, we have no purpose, we have no direction. and we just willy-nilly over the place. Anyway, I want other people. You want to come in?
Nice chat anyway.
No, you can stay there, but I just wanted to see if Edison wants to interact with what you said.
Okay.
Stay.
Okay.
It's Supreme.
Yeah, okay.
Go on.
No, I'm just listening in.
Yeah, because again, I was hearing what the guy was saying as regards to. Unfortunately, we've created a culture where we're always asking for something. Forgive me if I'm going against someone, but again, I've got to the point where I'm sort of fed up where we're always going to someone to ask for something to happen, and because they're black, we're hoping that where they share our identity and want to give us something. These guys have worked hard to get what they got or done what they had to do to get there as individuals. So as individuals, they actually got there. So what stops us as individuals?
Can I cut you 1 second?
Please, brother, go ahead.
Look at Alan Sugar.
Yeah.
Alan Sugar, I used to watch The Apprentice,
Yes.
and that man is a smart man, because what he does is he created this program, and he got some of the most like creative youths that come on this program with great ideas. And what he does, he takes their ideas, and then he makes them the apprentice.
Yeah.
You understand? He makes them like a manager or leader of one of his companies. You know, so he's got millions, and he knows that his ideas is after a while gets rusty. So he needs new ideas.
Fresh.
There's only so much a millionaire can do, you know.
No,
You understand? So eventually, that rich man realizes he has to invest in other people's ideas.
of course.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it ain't gonna work for you having all like 100 million. You know what I mean? Just sitting down there doing nothing. So man, Alan Sugar knows, say, all right, boom, man, let me reinvest some of that money, in a good idea. So it's not that you're begging, you know. It's that the person who has the money, you go to him and say, boy, invest in my idea. Look at that man. What's that Hoover called again? That Hoover. Dyson, yeah. Right, but that nobody invested in him, and in England, and he had to go up in Japan or China, and they said, wow, that's a good idea. So it's not that he was begging, it's just that he had to go to somebody who had the money to invest in his product.
I agree with that, my friend, but again, most businesses start from you as an individual on the ground. The thing is, it's only because we hear it all the time. I'm not disagreeing with you. These guys, part of their business strategy is to find new ideas to keep them fresh. So they have to look for new opportunities because they have to stay ahead of the game. So everyone's looking for the next best thing. I appreciate that as a business strategy. The thing is, we're all talking about UK business when we're speaking here, because in Africa, in the Caribbean, it's very successful black businessmen, and over there they have black people doing all types of business. So when we're speaking about getting into business community, we're speaking about whatever little pocket of London we're in, or whatever pocket in the country that we're in, but we're speaking about England, and the fact that when we came over here, the people that came over here may not have been the business-minded people. The Asians that come here, the Patel, straight away, from when you hear Patel, you know in their caste system, that's a businessman. So he's coming with that attitude. The other people in the Jewish community, they have guys that do business, they have guys that do all different kind of things. So when we're speaking about their community, slightly different, because they have their religion, one unified religion to hold them all together.
And you see that religion thing, that creates underneath that is a loyalty.
Exactly.
That bounds them to loyalty.
Exactly. So when
I just want to say, I'm gonna leave you now, but Edison, are you the man that does the healing and stuff like that? The what? Sorry. The spiritual healing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when you're gonna do a seminar, man?
Well, I'm supposed to be speaking on the 4th of September.
All right.
Down at, I think it's Cornell University. We're doing Edison is doing wisdom. She's doing wisdom and vitality. Edison is going to be doing an event. She normally does one, wisdom and vitality. If you look on the website or on Facebook, I'm going to be talking about the spiritual dynamic to sickness.
Okay.
And the whole concept that the man's spirit is sick, and that's why his body is reflecting that. So we're gonna go into
put on the phone, make someone else call up, yeah?
No worries, man. Take care. Thank you.
Very interesting call of that, and I hope he gets the details for the event, you know, to see Edison, you know, because it was a very positive input. Okay, once again, is that the person that was throwing stones at me, ringing in there? Greetings.
Yeah, greetings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to come through with the poem for King Lion, yeah, if it's all right.
All right, then. Yeah, man.
Man. Yeah, but before I do that, yeah, I called up King Lion, and he came in when I called him, and he's sorting himself out, listening to the program and everything. Yeah, man, I mentioned the poem to him, yeah. Yeah, big up King Lion, rise him up. Rise up, Edison.
Thanks, man.
Supreme's still there, you've not go home yet. And, you know what I mean, who else in the studio?
No, that's it for today.
Alright, brother Dougie, respect, rise up. Yeah, man. But I just wanted to say, all this talk about we're not this and we're not that, and you know, is it because I'm black, me hold me back and all these things? And let me tell you something, man. Them deals they're done, Master. Because we have like Find Your Voice, we have Speakers Club, we have Galaxy, we have Conscious Radio Finance, it was in More Knowledge, we have again spiritual healing, spiritual awakening with Edison. We are talking about, hey, you know what I mean? Let go them thing there, man. Let go them kind of talk. We have to let go them talk. Them talk, they just bring with down, man. And, you know what I mean? I've heard them talk for about years and years and years, and I don't want to hear them talk no more. Me not gonna switch off the rhythm and hear them talk no more. You know what I mean? You have to rise yourself up. Yes, sir. And big yourself and promote yourself, and you know what I mean? And stop all that foolishness. The white people not going that way. All the while. About this doom and gloom. Hey, you know what I mean? Spell Dougie, man. No, I ain't that. We have King Lion too, you know. Yeah, true. We have King Lion, you know. Mother Nature's herbal remedies, you know. Go on. So, I'm going to give you this poem right here now. King Lion, anyway you're there. I know you're listening. Respect. We can't take no more of this chemical solution. As a melanated people, we need organic medicine. So all the conscious among us who agree with me can just discard all tablets which were created in a laboratory. There are 5 words I now mention which are essential for the computer search engine. Mother Nature's traditional herbal remedies is the healing of the nation's ailments and diseases. If a man has fibroids and a woman has prostate stress, from a pain and misery, you must find peace and rest. Just linked with a man named King Lion, founder of the Mother Nature's organization. I've known from King Lion. Just explain the problem. Him happy thought you something for the ailment. Cancer bush, marindina, spirulina, or moringa. If the bloodstream's dirty, it requires a blood cleanser. Remember, back in the days when more granny used to give us washout, when all the beauties of the body done left us gone south. King Lion studies law, business, and self-defense. He breaks down his story to our story, exposing all the false pretense. It's true and factual. Codex alimentarius wants to stop with naturals. Police people jump and shout. We don't want that boat, for our health is our wealth. And Mother Nature's and with Mother Nature's traditional herbal remedies, them could never take us out. But yeah.
Yes, brother Nick. Once again, you're touching the microphone and inspiring and spreading knowledge, and as you said, in tribute to King Lion. Yes,
King Lion.
It's so interesting.
Yeah,
King Lion. I remember the first time I met King Lion was once again via Dougie, when Dougie put on an event. Actually, to be quite honest, almost 10 years ago at Happy People's Restaurant, where I met King Lion, and King Lion was on Genesis Radio.
That's right.
And I've got to say, Dougie and King Lion was to me one of the two pioneers that were pushing health on radio. But not a lot of people were pushing health on the radio. Now we've seen earlier, and every radio station, everybody has jumped on. Not saying nothing's wrong with it, but it's nice that you have taken time out to big up King Lion, you know. And you know, I remember King Lion, back in the day. So it just goes to show you how long.
But see, sorry to jump in there, Supreme, because in fact, King Lion was the one who introduced us to Ras Babu, right? Remember? Right. And King Lion asked me to host that event there, right? And that time there, we just gelling. So King Lion, he plays a very instrumental role in our development, because he's the one who's pushing the whole thing about the health revolution at the time. And you know that every time I was to ring King Lion, he was all in the library studying. You know.
Well, you know. Sorry to cut you, Dougie.
Go on, Truman.
I apologize, but there was a rapper named Kool Moe Dee, and he had a song in the 80s called Knowledge. Was it Knowledge for Life?
Okay.
Yeah. And King Lion took that rap song and he played it at the beginning of his show and called it the Knowledge for Life show. And that was on Genesis from on Thursday from 7 to 9. And I was actually a Genesis presenter myself when King Lion was on the station, so I got to know him and things now. And I actually brought Dougie and Noel and Jammers to Genesis with K Sarah, who does a show from 10 to 12. Sometimes 1. And so I'm proud of that. And I also brought Dougie, Jammers and Noel on Galaxy. I was the first one to do that, and I'm proud of it.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm bringing people together. And I take the inspiration from Dougie from doing that, and I take the inspiration from King Lion for doing that, and many others who inspired me to wanna help our people.
Well, in fact,
thank you for that.
Thank you. Brother Nick, I feel big up Brother Dougie, because me and Brother Dougie, I know Dougie for years, because we used to call him Dougie Fresh, because he used to be some sweet boy. He won't tell you when he was a sweet boy and had curly pervert and he was a girl, you know what I mean? I know Dougie for years, But how me and Dougie, the journey how this actually happened, I met him on West Green Road, and he gave me a flyer, Find Your Voice. And I said, Brother Dougie, what's this about? He said, come. And it's so interesting. At the time, Find Your Voice was, I think they'd done an event at Night Moves. Night Moves. It was at night. And we're talking how many years ago?
A few years ago, man.
And I've got to say, it was just, and this is something totally different to my social circle. The public speaking, people were getting up and just speaking, and I was like, well, I've never seen anything like this before. And everybody came, and there was the gentleman talking about his marriage, he spoke, and I said to Dougie, you know something, Dougie, this is what the radio needs. It's just totally different.
But when
it was totally different. It was like, what? And Dougie, I'm here saying this. The first time Dougie touched down on SNR, the room was full. I said, Dougie, where are you brought in Errol? Not Errol. Darren. You brought in, you know what? Dougie's a powerful brother. You bring in Sandra Hurst. Remember Sandra?
Yeah, Sandra Hurst.
Passed away.
Yeah, man.
You bring in.
Remember that.
Darren.
You had another
Michelle.
When I came, Dougie said, pass by. When I come in here, I said, Dougie, surgery. It was like a surgery.
You're supporting
Yeah, go on.
you know the brother, the sportsman. What's his name again?
Ricardo.
Ricardo. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dougie also had another powerful show with Minty, Mohammed and Ricardo, and that was powerful. To me, it was one of the shows that I used to look forward into.
It went on into the night, innit? Went on until about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
One time I rang in under my AKA name, and I got bruising from the team. I said, you got me help. But anyway, I'm not going to stray, but Find Your Voice here. It's been around for quite a while. I can vouch for that. It was about personal development, and it was through that how me and Dougie got closer, because I said, well, you know, this is what the radio needs. This is what we want more of.
Before that, right? It was Genesis, the Talk 26.
I remember that.
Pure talk, man. And it was like about health and mental health issues and you name it, man. Everything to do with our people. Then
that was good.
And I tell you that,
like, when you listen to that from from when it started till when it ends, 24 hours or 26 hours, you feel a whole lot different. It just locks you down inside your wherever you live, and your confines of your home or whatever, and you just stay in, you keep out of trouble, you just taking the information.
Like you said, I used to listen to, is it Dr. X on there?
Dr. X,
Yeah, man.
X was on there, and there was a brother named Cool Breeze. There was Nuff.
Cool Breeze on there?
I think he was on for a little while. Am I correct, Brother Nick? I'm not too sure.
Correct.
But on a Sunday, they done this show where they had an open door policy, and you had I remember Marandina man was on there. Stephen Sally was there in the afternoon where they had this on a Sunday afternoon about 5.
It was. I'll tell you, it was supreme. It was Commissioner. Commissioner had the very first interview with Dr. Sally.
Can I say something as well? And I have to big up SLR, because SLR actually had Professor Sally in their studio.
Is that so?
You talked to Cowboy, because I remember
big
at
up
the
Cowboy.
other studio, Professor Sally, when he was alive, touched on SLR. He was there, but the thing is sometimes people are brought to you, and at the time you don't really take it in because you're into music. And that's when I realised, we were going through a transition that talk radio knowledge is coming on the radio, but music was the thing because we are music people.
Supreme. We were always conscious because I used to listen to LWR, and they used to play like conscious things as well, like Martin Luther King and all kind of thing. So we always had it in us, but it wasn't developed as it is now. That's what I would say. But it's always something we were serious about because things were always happening to us that we had to talk about, like the New Cross fire and all kind of things. You know what I mean? So it was going on. It was ongoing before, but it just wasn't as wide as it is now and serious and thing. It was serious still, but give thanks, Respect.
You know what?
Okay. Give thanks, bro, Nick. Respect every time. Every time. Hey, baby, you have to tell me have curly pro. What kind of business is that? Hey, what kind of thing that? If I let people say they have curly pro.
Curly forms.
But that's kind of like that your life, family.
So we never used to call you Dougie Fresh.
What do you call me fresh? What I do curly pro?
Hey, I remember Brother Dougie. I don't know, I won't tell that story, but remember he used to play football. We used to play five-a-side football.
Over the front.
And we used to do circuit training and all that. From way back then, the time you had a little skill with you.
No, I used to be a baller. Nothing about it. Okay, live link number 07960239493. If you know from early days
when he had curly perm and used to move with Uhuru. Is it Uhuru?
Yeah, bro. That's right, you know.
Uhuru used to play athletics at New River.
That's play football.
But you know when you had D. Davis
and Barry. Remember, you know Barry?
No, I don't. But you said the nation.
Yeah. Can you know he used to play football and stuff?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, he's very. Can you went away and play football abroad and things?
Yeah.
I mean, he's retired.
I wanted. There was a caller who sent in a text message, and I wanted to answer.
What the man
one I throw stones, but I wanted to answer it. It's going to take about 6 minutes. There's a snippet of poetry that I'd love to play. Is it okay to play?
Yeah, man. Well,
and it kind of sums up.
So let me say no to you. Wait up.
What? You know, the person is probably. You know when someone. Oh, my battery's a bit low. And, I don't know.
So you got to play some poetry. What to counteract?
No, I just want them to know.
We are dealing with.
Well, I mean, it might cut out halfway through, but can I just quickly put it in? This is for people. It's about 6 minutes long. Yeah, let me see if I can set it up.
Okay, then. Edison, come in, panels. Just talk about
Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to go back to oh god, I'm trying to remember.
For years, we have been miseducated, misdirected. Listen carefully. After this song, I'm never gonna rap again. And last night, I buried my last pad and pen. Looking at my past, like yeah, I've been brave. But when I look deeper, I only see a slave. Lost and confused, we're killing our own people. Instead of being long, we all grew up deceitful. Look how they portray us like all blacks are evil. I dare you ask a white man if you and him are equal. We got black doctors, black nurses. Yeah, what a celebration. For a white man, you will work hard, pure dedication. But yet people in your own country ain't got no medication. Bag of Uncle Tom's, helping them kill a generation. Even me, I was lost too, got caught up in the blazing. 4 or 5 on my waist, the girls are like, ain't he amazing? Instead of teaching the kids about education and saving, they're outside with their lipstick and makeup, everyday raving. 2012 ain't no one dying, that's bullshit you're selling me. The planets are aligning, fam, it's all about the energy. For years they've been deceiving us, trying to create division, then wiped out our history and gave us phony religion. God's brainwashed through music and 10 live vision, cause they know that we're dangerous if we get in a high position. This one's for the young youths, sit back and just listen. You can smoke weed if you want to, but hear what, this is the mission. Get our people educated, cause right now we're segregated. Take our oil and diamonds back, get our countries liberated. Bank holidays changed to kings and queens celebrated. Even lawyers and police are owned by us. We need teachers, airports, ferry boats and trucks. We need tomato fields, cows, even sheep and ducks. Our own army with marine corps, seals and bucks. We need to run them out of our cities and take shit back. And you can keep your Great Britain, fam, your country's whack. Even white people are moving out, check the facts. Ask your own kids, they tell you that it's cool to be black. And you can call me ignorant, I'm just sick of the crap. They're like black boys are killing each other, shooting the Mac. Well guess what, it's a white person that sold us a strap. We buy drugs from you, then sell it back to you, stuck in a trap. And they got the cheek to turn rap into pop, so that white boys can act black and walk with a bop. And I ain't even finished yet with all this fake Arab stuff. Praying Salah next to me, but deep down you hate us. You think I forgot? You came to Africa and sprayed us, stole our ancient scrolls, beat and raped us. You're as bad as Willie Lynch, you're lucky Islam saved us. We're descendants of a slave trade, this is how God made us. By stealing our wealth, you made our future poor, while every street corner now has an Asian store. Young black kids are selling crack outside your front door. That's why we need to educate appreciate ourselves a little bit more. I ain't scared of nobody, that's why I speak my mind. You ain't fooling me, leading me to sports and rhyme. I know you like me on this bang bang thing, flashing a gang sign. But nah, I'm into assets now, I'm trying to own time. You think we're stupid? I know we know about his heat, when really we created the first Black Wall Street. Until you burnt it down and left the people homeless, and then you got the cheek to call my black people hopeless. Like we haven't ever tried. Do you know how many black people died trying to lead revolutions but got assassinated by your spies? Bun fire upon your curriculum, your teaching of pure lies. Why don't you tell us Diana slept with Dougie and that's why she died? Their baby would have been mixed race, short back and sides. They would have had a banger in their family if Diana had survived. Listen, we need to build our own economic system. Get our lawyers to free innocent political prisoners. Yeah, I'm giving up music, cause I ain't never going mainstream. And I don't wanna be like these other rappers living in a daydream. I ain't never changing, trust me, I was born militant. I've been self-taught and educated, now my brain cells are brilliant. These people don't wanna see us live out our vision. Instead of teaching, they would rather lock the kids up in prison. Instead of a shirt and tie, they would rather us be on the streets and die. And Obama might be black, but he's an evil guy, screaming change must come, yeah. What a fucking lie. So how comes you're dropping bombs on the kids from the planes in the sky? They tried to hide the fact that we had black kings and queens before they came with guns and grenades and destroyed our dreams. We wasn't born dumb, so how come we have brainwashed teens, disengaged but still wearing gay designer jeans, calling our sisters hoes in every other song? Didn't you know that sister's someone's future mum? But now sisters, don't be mad, cause you're just as wrong. How can I respect you if all you're doing is flashing your phone? They're like, Jaja, be quiet, society might shoot you in the head. I'm like, bro, forget all that, I done been dead. Got our parents in the churches praying to white Jesus, so blind that when they come home they can't even see us. They wonder why the kids are on estates with gang members, cause they're too busy caught up in gossip and EastEnders. Everybody's like, shh, Judge, that talk is fitna. I'm like, shut your mouth, go tell that to the boys that hell Hitler. How can a black dad not see his son for 15 years? His son's lonely, gripping a gun, bursting tears. Wishing daddy would come home, I wonder if he cares. Suicidal on the motorway, gripping the gears. These evil human beings came here and off top our culture. You can't control me, are you mad? No way, I'm a soldier. Listen kids, it ain't cool to be broken crooks. A real G smart, puts his brains into books. The way we're living right now is just bad for your health. You might as well take your own gun and kill yourself. Look at society at whole, everybody's on the dole. They don't teach us to maintain and aim for a goal. But black people, don't get it twisted, I think I'm blaming whites. It's not their fault you can't pay for your gas and lights. Instead of complaining, why don't you write a business plan? You're too busy smoking weed thinking you're the man. Instead try and get your peace up, invest in land, get progressive, build an empire. Yes we can.
Yes, that's Jaja, a poetry that he done called Black Empire. You know, I'm gonna send that one out to the caller that sent that text, yeah. And I just want him to meditate on that, yeah.
No,
and I don't mean it in a bad way,
that was fantastic.
But you know,
the guy spoke the truth. It's really good. Often we sit there in dreams all the time thinking it's just going to happen because we want to wish it so. And we're not dealing with the real issues of how it actually goes. So it's really good what he said.
Okay, the live link number 07960 239 493. We did have someone try to phone in. Feel free to phone in. Yeah, let's get those calls rolling. And this has really been an interesting show. We're going to have someone like Supreme inside the house. And him is a mischief one on Monday, you know. That's how I say about it. He gives a little bit of flavor and he's mischief at the same time. Supreme, original Supreme. Everybody love him like cooked food, you know what I mean? Live link number 07960 239 493. And one minute we're going to play the Your Voice in association with Saturday, the 27th of August 2016. Find Your Voice in association with Working Action Group. Present Building Communities. Top motivational speaker Leo Mohammed, Esther Stanford, and many more. Venue, Parkview Academy, Regional West Green Road, London N50 3RB. Entrance fee only £5. Also get tickets from Body Music. Time 3:30 to 7:30. For more information, contact Brother Dougie on 0788-240-3871 or 0796-239-493. Let us build our community.
Greetings.
Yeah, greetings, Brother Dougie.
Yes, sir.
Greetings, Supreme, and greetings, Edison. Wow.
King Lion.
I'm good, man.
Hey, King Lion, don't see the man I drop poetry for you.
Yes.
Yeah, pick up yourself, Nick, the soldier. What did I tell you? From strength to strength, man. Beautiful, man. Love that. Big up, Nick.
Yeah, man. So, King Lion, we have to say, man, because look like the show dedicated to you,
Right now, we just keep touching, I mean, say, you know what I mean, man's work's being appreciated and appreciate love from all that time still, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, I don't blow my own trumpet, but it's nice when people blow it for me still, so, like I say, maximum love and respect to each and every one, man.
Hold on, King Lion. Don't forget, King Lion, you're the one introduced Ras Babu to us, you know, Dougie.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, like I said, it's not really even about me, you know, Bridget. It's like, you know, man's got to do what he's got to do. It's about healing the nation because we're in such a pitiful state. You know what I mean? I recognize that, we need to save the people. You know what I mean? And whenever I can bring somebody tangible and bring some vital information to the people, that's what I'm about. You know what I mean? So it was just a duty. It was a duty that one had to fulfill and keep on fulfilling until, you know, the last breath step out of the body.
It's true.
You know, so yeah, that's how serious the thing is, man.
Yeah.
You know, I just wish, I just pray that, you know, the day will come when our people, you know, start to wake up and recognize, say, yo, this thing out here ain't no plaything. You know, we're in a serious dilemma right now. You know what I mean? But, you know, the poetry, the poetry that Supreme just played, yeah, man, Jaja Zose, beautiful. Give me every word, sound, and syllable is right on time. You know what I mean? So here we are discussing, you know, in terms of business and what we should be doing, and you know, should we look at how other people run it? I sent a text in there about Mr. Tesco. Since you didn't read it, let me give you a breakdown on Mr. Tesco. Mr. Tesco learned to do his business on the back of a melanated black man called Mr. Rowe. Mr. Rowe had 5 shops in the 1950s, but Mr. Tesco had only his wheelbarrow. And Mr. Rowe was selling everything that black people needed over in Brockley Cross. And Mr. Rowe is the father for Dennis Rowe. That man was well advanced, man. Imagine in the 1950s, you as a black man have 5 shops, you know. So he was an inspiration to Mr. Tesco. Unfortunately, Mr. Rowe's situation got hijacked by his own people and they mashed it down. You know what I mean? But you know, we have this crab in the barrel syndrome that's going on, and you know, if we look at history, we find that this is a part of the so-called Willie Lynch syndrome, which judges those say spoke about. You know what I mean? That is a dangerous syndrome that's being perpetrated on us as a nation of people. People don't
don't realize how serious words are. I know Edison will get this.
Yeah, I do.
But words are very, very, very powerful. Yeah, we don't know, we don't understand. We just sing words about just to say I don't know. But when you listen to the Willie Lynch speech and you hear the connotations of what he was saying and the impact, I've seen the impact on our people, and our people ain't seen it all now. Yeah, when he said pitch the young blacks against the old blacks, the light skin against the dark skin, and all them thing there, yo, all that thing is impacting us now. This is why we find it hard to unite. That speech was a curse on the black nation.
Exactly.
And the thing is this, if the black nation accept that and say, okay, we're under a curse, now that we know this, we can now rescind it. Yeah, we can neutralize it just by our very own words, because remember, this was a play of words on us, unbeknowing. Yeah, so now that we know, then let's just neutralize it. Say, okay, boom, we kill that, we rescind that, we neutralize that. Then we can start to rise and resurrect. That's the way I see it. I don't know how you see Edison.
No, I agree. The problem is they've worked so hard to educate the children to actually think in that way. And in Africa, everywhere, you see people bleaching their skin to look white, isn't it? Or to look lighter. So that same syndrome of the fair-skinned one being the one that should be treated better is still there. And the old against the young, you see, whereas once upon a time, the young people had a bit of respect for their elders, but they only respect rich elders now. Yeah, because if you're a poor elder, they're going to talk to you like you don't know what you've done with your life. So everything now, from when they transfer community and base it on money, then people only value those people with money in the community, and that's how they rise everything up. And as far as the words are concerned, the scariest thing is people don't appreciate the hypnotic effect of certain words and tones, and how they've literally created, I always say that what they took people to school for was to teach them who to fear and how to fear. So they've got everyone in the system now that if they say a certain word, they're going to make you all behave or jump or run or do what have you. So all they need to do is put a collection of certain fear words together, and they can paralyze you. So you don't even want to do anything. I'm so upset with recent events with Dr. Sabi and all this kind of thing. I've seen people marching and doing things like that. With this scenario, how did they let him die? How did they let how could an 83-year-old man go missing for so long and no one asks where he's been? Or no one's looking for him? And no one's marching about that.
Well, you see, the people, and you're right, you're absolutely right, but you know, his team that he works with, they should have been raising the alarm first and foremost, you know what I mean, and then spread that viral so that we could have, you know, tracked him and followed where he was.
Exactly.
Because at some point somebody's got a video showing him in the airport being accosted by the customs men and all of that, but that was after the event, you know what I mean. But 3 weeks is a long time. If he's gone away, if he's gone on a mission somewhere, him and the next brother was traveling, and you know they got a limited time in terms of where they're going and when they're coming back, then surely the team that works with him should have basically raised that alarm, you know what I mean, so that it could have gone global and then we could have all raised the alarm, you know what I mean. But like we said, you know, the horse is bolted now, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, King Lion, do you think that story is being controlled?
Definitely.
Because in honesty, it makes no sense. Who would put an 83-year-old man in prison and keep him there longer than a day? Wouldn't you ask, you know, this guy would never go to prison for an elder. They knew who he was. Anyhow, I would say that they had him taken out. But then again, our minds have been so conditioned, it's been said in a certain way, we just think it's a natural cause. But how can a man, based on health, teaching health, it's so illogical. But the fact is, like, go ahead.
But you know, they say pneumonia, but how does a man like him die from pneumonia?
Exactly.
That's diabolical. You know what I mean?
Diabolical.
He was a very fit man, you know, and it's interesting how quick they buried him, so there was no autopsy on the body. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But again,
so nobody really know because of the fact that they buried him quickly. But who authorized the burial to take place so quick without, you know, demanding an autopsy?
You see, this is what I'm saying.
So was this an infiltration from within his camp?
Well, again, you have to understand, he's been upsetting a lot of people where he's been coming, taking them to court. They've been trying to denounce him, make him out like he's a fraud, but he's proved himself correct in every time. So the pharmaceutical companies cannot have people like that of color or whatever color, because there's about 10 or 12 people, holistic dealers, that have been taken out of recent times. 50. See what I'm saying? So they're literally going around caking out anyone who could provide an alternative to the poison they got planned. Yeah? So this situation, this is what you said earlier and what that guy was saying. People don't appreciate that they're at war. They still think that this is all peaceful because they're not seeing people actually pointing guns at them. But the people, as you know, they're killing them in every other way possible. And people are still sitting there thinking, I want to have this big house, big car. And they're still thinking about money, and they're going to get somehow, buy them freedom. But they don't realize that. Go on.
What happens when that money system comes to a closure?
Exactly.
What happens when they bring in the chip? You know what I mean? Who's going to take that mark of the beast? You know, this is the time when Garvey said that our backs are going to be against. Who's going to support each other when, you know what I mean, when we refuse to take the chip? Because we know if we take the chip, then your life is all over. Simple.
Exactly.
And they have and the chip, which is an RFID chip. They say when they put that in you, Aaron Russo, the film producer, said when he was amongst them Rothschilds, and you know they talk about the chip, and he said, well, why do you want to put a chip in all the people? It's to control them. And if they argue or rebel against what we're doing, we just turn off their chip.
Well, this is it. Do you remember reading that book, Behold the Pale Horse, 20-something years? He wrote all of that down there, and we thought he was joking at the time, but he put the whole thing about the chip, how they're going to actually use it and control people's thoughts. They're going to sell it as a positive thing. So what they'll do is create some sort of disaster and what have you, and say, oh, to be safe, so someone knows where you are, you're going to have to take the chip. Have you heard, of course, about that universal credit thing, where they're going to try and put everyone's credit in one boat? And whereas they were doing it with signatures before, now they're going to do it with a barcode. And essentially,
they've got to move the goalposts. The barcode is going to become redundant because people can hijack that and copy it. So the safest system that they're going to implement is the chip.
And you see that. That's where it's all going.
Films like Demolition Man, when you see Wesley Snipes was in the prison, you know, where you know it was all chip. And for him to escape the prison, him chop off the hand and raise his hand in front of the machine and open the door and set him free. The chip was in the doctor's hand. You see what I'm saying? So whatever they create is not fail-proof. It's not, none of it's safe. It's all bull crap. You know what I mean? But like Revelation says, man will not be able to buy and sell without the chip.
Yes, and that's
so really and truly, we need to now start thinking seriously about what we are doing. You know, you can't be going out doing this 9 to 5 in the slave syndrome, thinking that you're all good and because you've got money, you've got a house, you've got a car. If you watch this movie called Soylent Green, they show you what happened when the people had 2 houses and 2 cars, and then, you know, the whole system crashed, and then people had they couldn't support their house, they couldn't support their cars, they lost everything, man had to sleep in all ways of building.